can monitor this on your phone. You can monitor the stuff on your phone. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to this Wednesday Recovery TV, particularly in this period of Christmas. I want to welcome every one of you across the globe. We've been dealing with a series on staying clean during the holiday season. Staying clean during this Xmas Christmas season. And during the holiday, most people's guard are down. Most people's boundary, people don't take it serious. People are a bit in a relaxed mood during the holiday time. And I'll be coming on with Sharon and with our guest that will be discussing with us on how to stay clean in this season, particularly clean from alcohol, clean from substance. And I know that these wisdom tips will be a lot of blessing to you. So without wasting time, I want to bring in Sharon and her friend and her friend. Sister Sharon, you are live now. You are welcome along with your friend. Sister Sharon, hope you can hear me.
Yes, yes, Pastor, I can hear you.
Good. So you
Hello,
are live now.
everyone.
Uh,
Okay.
you can you can speak on how to stay clean in this spirit and also introduce your friend.
Well, hello, everyone, and it's good to be here with you once again to our Facebook family and friends around the world. And so this week we have a treat for you because I have with me my best friend. His name is Jamal, and he's going to also share his experience with recovery. And we're continuing off from last week. Remember, we shared that we had 23 23 little nuggets, or well, actually 37 little nuggets, ideas on helping you to stay clean throughout the holidays. So we'll probably finish up with this, if not next week, then after the holidays. We'll tell you, go to a different subject. So we may not get this finished. Uh, Jamal, is there anything you'd like to say
I'd like to
before
say
we
peace and
start?
blessing to everyone. This is a surprise, but it's also a blessing to be able to share my experience, strength, and hope for people who are in the process of recovery, which is a beautiful journey, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. So last week we were talking about, I believe we left off where if it meant going to your hometown, we wanted to say that remember, people, places, and things, we want to really try to stay away from them, people, places, and things, because it'll be easier for those people and then in those places and doing those things for you to get drawn back into the old behaviors. And January is coming. Please remember, after December, there's January. And however you're feeling now about yourself, about your life, about everything, you want to be able to still feel that way in January. And if we make some bad choices during the holidays, chances are, like, come January, we're not going to be feeling too good about ourselves. I know whenever based on my experience, whenever I was saying that, hey, I want to change. I don't want to do this anymore. And whenever I got clean, see, I knew how to stop using prior to coming into recovery. I knew how to stop using. I stopped for a week. I stopped for 2 weeks. I stopped for a month. I just didn't know how to stay stopped. And when we talk about staying clean during the holidays, we're talking about staying stopped. We're not talking just about the idea of not using during the holidays. We're talking about the individual that's watching now that is clean, has gotten clean, maybe just recently gotten clean, maybe he's been clean for a very long time and doesn't have a support system, but want to know how they can make it through this holiday. Maybe you just lost a loved one, maybe you're going through a difficult time. Um, just know that you can. You can. It is possible to get through this holiday and not use a substance, not use a behavior. Because remember, we said addiction is much more than just drugs. Addiction is much more than just drugs. And so, with that, we're going to go ahead because we talked about not visit people, places, and things if you're going home. And so, we know to go home that you either going to drive or you may fly. So, what happens when we fly? Jamal, can you help me with that?
Sure, I'll do the best I can. I know too, because I've flown a lot in my days, and we were just discussing before we started here how they do sell alcoholic beverages on airplanes, on flights. And for me to protect my recovery and my clean date, if the passenger next to me chooses to consume alcohol, let alone anything else, I need to let it be known in a spiritual, graceful manner to the steward, if at all possible, if I can change my seat, because I'm not trying to change my clean date. And we had also mentioned too how alcohol is a drug,
Mhm,
and for me, it could look very attractive.
mhm.
And I got to remember too that it can be there's a negative spirit that can be very beguiling, who can make me think that I can just have a shot or two or three.
Yeah, we
Because
know how
again,
that goes.
one is too many and a thousand is never enough.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much for me, it's like I have to set up boundaries to protect my clean date. And I can't let them waver. I have to go to any length to keep my clean date so I don't have to come back. I made it back.
Wow. And that's something important that you just said. One of whatever it is. And we just assume that if we have that one, that, well, we'll start over. But there have been so many people, we both
Yes,
know of
yes,
so many people
yes.
who had just that one. And that was the end. They died. They died with just that one. They didn't go out and shoot thousands of bags of dope or smoke tons of crack or drink a whole bunch of alcohol. The first one was the one that did it,
Hmm.
you know. And you said something, one is too many, 1,000 is never enough.
No.
You know, a friend of ours used to say, and I know you'll know who I'm talking about when I said, he said, when the conductor blows the whistle on the train, he's not blowing it to warn you about the last car. He's blowing it to warn you about the first one.
That's right.
And that's so amazing, and you talked about boundaries, and it's important that I set up and I create boundaries, because if I don't, I'm responsible for my recovery. The guy next to me is not responsible for my recovery. The stewardess is not responsible. Everybody on the plane can know that I'm in recovery if I choose to share that information. But if I don't put the guards, the guard around my own recovery, and if I don't initiate what I need to do to protect myself, then this is on me. So I like the suggestion you said. Um, Let the steward know, hey, this is not a really comfortable spot for me.
Hmm.
But there's some other things, because maybe you can't get up. Maybe she's like, I'm sorry, we're booked and we can't move you.
Right.
At that point, maybe if you got some headphones, put some headphones on, listen to some music, pray. It's some things you have to do to distract yourself. There's always something to do where you can distract yourself. That person next to you may even, because we all know if you drink, how belligerent, or if the person's high, because we know the bathroom, that's what it's for. I know I've gotten on the plane and gotten high in many a bathrooms on many a planes. I've gotten, yeah, real high. I wasn't just high in the air, I was high. And so, sometimes you got that passenger that's right next to you that's, hey, just have one, it's gonna be okay. Come on, it's the holidays. And you may have to just be able to just block that person somehow by going into some form of prayer and meditation
Station.
if you're in a praying person, and praying and asking the God of your understanding, your God, to maybe relieve you of the burden of that individual. Find some distraction. So, that's very important, because nobody wants to lose whatever they work for, over the holidays, because the holiday, Christmas is a day, New Year's is a day. Now we know we call it the holidays because we celebrate a season, and we're celebrating that season. And for most of us, myself included, we're celebrating. We may have forgotten why the celebration is.
Hmm.
We're celebrating the birth of our Savior, right? But it has also become a season of partying. We want to party. We want to get high. We want to celebrate material things. But let's not get lost in that. Let's not lose ourselves in that, because that's going to end. That's going to end by December the 2nd, all that's over. And I want to know at December the 2nd that I can still feel good about myself, that I am not beating myself up, and that I'm not how dumb, because this is the kind of conversation. Let me tell you the conversations I have with myself once I've done the destructive behavior. Once I've had 2 weeks, I'm talking about in the past, prior to my long term recovery, when I've had those 2 weeks clean and I said I wasn't going to use anymore, and then I went out and I relapsed. Well, I didn't relapse, I returned to using
Right.
because I didn't have any recovery at that point, but I returned to using. The conversation was usually, oh my God, you're so stupid. Dang it, here you go again. Oh, you're not gonna have nothing. You're not gonna be nothing. See, you done did it again. You done blew all your money. Blah blah blah. I got tired of those kind of conversations. I got tired of being my own worst enemy. And that's what it is because we talk about on this show about the need to have a higher power in your life. But trust me, if there's a higher power, we're talking about the fact that in life everything has its equal: sad, happy, up, down, good, bad. So if there's a higher power, there's a lower power. And that lower destructive power's job is to lie to me and allow me to believe the lies, and then train me to lie to myself and believe the lies. And I got tired of always trying to be my own worst enemy and lie to myself and believe it. So it's important that we not try to change our clean date, as Jamal was saying. The other thing is, tip the other tip is here. Don't romance drinking, drugging, because this is the time of year, and it almost happened to me. Let me tell you, I was reminiscing just the other day. I was like, wow, Christmas, I remember when. That's romance in it. And that's one of the tips. Don't romance the using. Cause I will sit and I was talking about, oh, I remember when we was doing this and we were in the room, and I remember we went to this club and we left there and there was a bunch of us, and then we went up into the back room
Mm.
and we pulled so and so and blah blah blah. And it sounds so good. And if I'm not careful, I will convince myself that that good time was such a good time that I need to repeat that good time, that it's okay. Like, oh no, come on now. You got 20 something years clean. You can handle just one. You can handle it. Come on, don't you miss it? Because when I look in the mirror, I see the person that will do anything that she tells herself to do, go anywhere she tells herself to go, and behave in any manner she convinces herself to behave in, and will justify and rationalize why it was okay to do it,
Yeah.
until those feelings come. And when those feelings come, then I got to sit with them. And I usually don't like them. I usually don't like them. Go ahead.
And I'm so glad that Sharon had brought that up because I know my story and I romance the story and follow through with it. As of late, I can say that when my mind was, because I'm truly powerless over what I think, it's what
Mhm.
I do with what I think. When romancing that substance or that good time, so to say, I must not forget that pain at the end of the day when it's
Mhm.
all
Mhm.
said and done. And I have to ask myself, do I want to put myself through that again? And then, you know what, again, and then again. And it's only by the grace and mercy that it doesn't have to be again and that I survived that. So it's so important to be mindful of how when something I think looks real attractive, like 14 karat gold, at the end of the day, if I don't look through it, think about it, feel about it, then I need to think again and not make no hasty decision before I act out on it. And what I'll do is I'll call Sharon, I'll call someone in my network, I'll call my sponsor. Most importantly, I go to my creator, and he's definitely going to reveal the truth to me. So that's my choice. That is
Mhm.
my choice.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Jamal. What do you do when, one of the tips here and what it talks about is like, about craving? It says prepare for craving. What do you do to prepare for in the event that during the holidays you start having cravings? Because I know around that time of year, and like, and a lot of these things, they kind of like go hand in hand, because now you start romancing it, or you start having memories. Maybe you're not romancing it, but maybe because of it's the holidays, you start remembering people or events, and in those memories, they bring back feelings, and those feelings create cravings. What do you do?
What I do is really when a craving comes about, because I'm going to have cravings for the rest of my life, just like I'm going to have the disease of addiction for the rest of my life. And as I had mentioned earlier, not to sound redundant, but I got to remember that last one, the last time I craved and I acted out on it and what the end result was.
Mhm.
The detriment, the low self-esteem, let alone no self-esteem, the lack of self-worth, how I hurt family, friends, um, uh, most importantly, how I hurt myself. And it's like physically, mentally, and spiritually. So when a craving comes about, I have to think it all the
Hello,
way
Sister
through.
Sharon.
Ah, hello.
Is your speaker on? Is the speaker on your phone?
I can hear him.
Yes, yes, we can
Yeah,
hear
okay.
you. And Jamal
It's
was just
making the
speaking.
message to be twice.
Might be echoing.
Is there an
Uh,
echo? Because I
yes,
have my
Echo, I think
speaker
because
on
both
my
of you are.
phone. I
Yeah,
don't know. I have the computer speaker is off,
the
and
computer
then
speaker is
I
off, is
have
it?
yes, I have the speaker on the computer off.
I think it's supposed to be your earpiece supposed to take over the noise, supposed to take over the sound, not so
So
that it
we
doesn't
have
come
the
out.
earpiece on. That's it. That's all we have on is the earpiece, and the computer is turned off.
Good. It's okay now. Everything is perfect now.
Now we don't hear you at
Everything is
all.
perfect now.
I don't know if you can hear us. Hello, we
Everything is
can't hear
perfect now.
you.
Everything is perfect now.
We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Everything is perfect now. Everything
We
is
can't hear
perfect.
you. Oh Lord, this was going good too.
It's still echoing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, I'm
still
hearing
going.
you.
Let me see something.
Everything is
Let me see
perfect.
something.
Everything is okay now. Everything is okay. Okay.
Now I don't hear him through Bluetooth.
Hello, Pastor, can you hear us? Because we can't hear you. Hello, we couldn't hear you through the earpiece anymore. Did you get?
Can you hear me
Um,
now?
we can hear you now.
Yes.
Good. Everything is perfect now. So, looking at the conversation that have been going on, you guys have brought a lot of wonderful stuff on the platform. I want to ask both of you, what advice will you give to people that are just beginning their journey in recovery right now? Not to mess up that capital recovery they've gained. Maybe somebody is clean for 6 months or somebody is clean for 1 year. What advice will any of you give those guys not to mess up the journey of their recovery?
Go ahead, Jamal. I'll let you.
Well, Pastor, that's a good question to ask, and I'll give you the experience strength that I hope have with that. Um, I have to remember when I had one day,
Hmm.
be it 20 years, 5 months, it doesn't matter. I have to remember that pain and degradation I put myself through, especially around this time of the year, and
Hmm.
ask myself, am I willing to put myself back out there like that and do that again, and hopefully don't wind up either in jail, in another institution, or death. What I would
Hmm.
do too, I would surround myself with people who are trying to do something different around
Hmm.
recovering people. I
Hmm.
would set up my, I would set up, if I'm going out of town, if I'm flying somewhere, I want to know where some meetings are
Hmm.
before I go there. I want to attend the meetings, not just know, but I want to attend the meeting. Hey, my name is Jamal. I'm an addict. I'm from out of town, and I'm trying to have some fun recovery wise.
Hmm.
Okay. I also want to, again, I was told too, Pastor, don't forget my last one
I get
and
you.
what it did to me.
Hmm.
If not, I do have another one. So I
Hmm.
want to stick to the basics. I want to
Hmm.
pray. I want to go to a meeting. I
Hmm.
want to go to the meeting early. I want to stay late. There's three parts of a meeting: the meeting before the meeting, and the meeting after the meeting where we fellowship. I want to
Hmm.
help somebody with no strings attached by giving
Hmm.
back what was so freely given to me,
Hmm.
and just enjoy and endure, persevere and endure what's going on.
Hmm.
As Sharon mentioned, The substance is only a symptom of the disease. So there's other
mm,
areas that's like how people talk about me. I can't talk about people. How I would used to go overboard when I was young and celebrate Christmas, and then I'm financially in the red. So that would bring on some feelings to be like, oh my gosh, I messed up. Oh well, I might as well mess up all the way and just don't care no more. I have to be mindful of that because this insidious disease, it'll come at me any which way it can for try to re-recruit me. But not today. As long as I surrender, and that's another thing. I surrender on a daily basis. It's not just a one-time surrender. No, sometimes I have to surrender more than once a day. And just be mindful that this disease is insidious, is cunning, and is baffling. And I just got to know that if I don't keep my guards up and stay within the basics around my inside my boundaries, it's I'm apt to take my will back.
Thank you very much, Jamal, because you
You're
mentioned
welcome.
something very, very great there. Not to let down your guard, your boundaries, so
Exactly.
that you will not be recruited back to where you left. You will not be
Exactly.
recruited back
Exactly.
to pain and recruited back to disgrace and recruited back to sleeping
Hmm.
in almost a gutter before you remember that where was I last night? Because it
Yes.
takes away your control. Substance
Exactly.
takes away your control. You're no longer in control of yourself. Something else now is in control of you. And
Yes.
which is a very, very important thing you have said right there. Anywhere you are going to, maybe to tell them, like Sharon have said, hey, you guys, I'm here just to have some fun. I'm just beginning my journey of recovery. Please, I need help. So I'm needing
Exactly.
help
Yes.
because so
Yes.
that anybody pulling out cannabis or pulling out cigarette or pulling out champagne or pulling out whiskey or brandy will be careful not to pull out those kind of stuff because I am just barely standing on my feet. I don't want to fall off. So please help
Yes.
Amen.
me
So
here.
true.
And I
So
think
true. And
that
that.
that kind of advanced wisdom of a lot maybe may help people around you not to throw you off the tip. Because sometimes some people do some things around you without knowing the danger of what they are doing to
Exactly.
you.
And
Yes.
you said something. And what you had said, excuse the interruption, is about reaching out. A closed mouth will not get fed.
Mm-mm.
I have to reach out and ask for help. If I don't change, my clean date will change. It's a journey. I was just talking to my daughter. How this is a process and it's a journey that I'm enjoying.
Mm.
I
It
think
is.
that,
It
that
is.
that's a very uh, glorious thing to be said in that place. Like, if you are not afraid or you are not ashamed to ask for help, you are not ashamed to let people know that you are in recovery. In fact, it's a thing of joy to say that I have been clean for 1 year. I've not taken
Hmm.
any alcohol. I've not taken any substance, and I am
Hmm.
just trying to see how my body has begun to adjust to the new me, and I'm
Yes.
enjoying it because now I'm mentally
Amen.
Amen.
clean.
Glad you said
I have
amen.
clarity of
Amen.
thoughts. Nothing is thinking for me. My brain is come alive now.
Hmm.
Before, something else is in my body does not allow my brain to function. Now I can
Amen.
function of my own now and make my decisions, not that something I drank or smoked made decision for me.
Hmm.
It's for
And
you.
I'm enjoying that new life I'm having. And I
Yes.
know I don't want to be a victim of my environment.
Mm.
So I think having to say those things, that's why if you are not honest, you can't work in recovery.
Oh, there you go.
No.
There you
You know,
go.
Pastor, and part of what we say, well, the literature that we read, part of the literature we read, what it says honesty is the antidote to the disease thinking. It says that because honesty is so important because if I can't get in honest with myself about what's happening, how I'm thinking, what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, then I can't get the necessary help that I need. If I'm lying about, if I go to the doctor and I said, Doctor, my foot is hurting, but my head is hurting, guess what? I'll walk out of there with my foot bandaged and a headache. I'll still have the same headache, but my foot will be bandaged. The foot
Right.
that wasn't nothing wrong with because I went in there and I couldn't get honest. So if I'm in pain, I'm afraid. If I'm in pain, or if I'm afraid, or if I'm confused, or even if I don't know what to do, and I say to you, hey, you know what? I don't know what to do. I feel so bad. Yesterday, I did something that I feel bad about today. I feel bad about. I was disappointed. Family members were supposed to come up for Christmas. A bunch of my family was supposed to come up for Christmas. My mom called. She said they were not coming. And I called a family member, right? Because I told you I deal with mental health, and I deal with addiction, and I deal with unmanageability of my emotions. That is not an excuse, but it's my reality. So rather than say to that person at the moment, hey, you know what? I'm disappointed and I'm sad because I was looking forward to you coming. I just blurted out and I went, oh, I was like a crazy person on the phone. I hurt somebody because of my inability to just stop for a minute. That's what we're saying. Sometimes we just gotta stop and do nothing. Just stop, breathe,
Mm-hmm.
say a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do nothing if you don't know what to do. I got
I,
the information went from here to here. It didn't even get look. I heard it and I did. I didn't even give it time to process. What's wrong? What's going on? Maybe this. All I did was get into an emotional state. Now, because I feel bad now, right? This is how this disease works. Had I been early in recovery, maybe I would go smoke. Or use something. Maybe I'd go. If I wasn't telling somebody, maybe I'd end up at Charlestown tonight or yesterday. Because I really, really, really felt like a piece of crap. Because you don't treat other human beings like that. Because you don't know how to process your feelings. You
Right.
don't just piss on somebody else. And then you get to a point where I get tired of doing the same thing. I get tired. I don't know what's going on with me right now. I don't know
no,
why I'm so emotional. I
no,
don't know
don't
why
worry.
I keep on doing it.
I
But
get it,
what I
Sharon.
do know is that I know that I'm not
Amen.
going to use drugs because of it. And I'm going to keep asking for help. I'm going
Yes,
to keep
yes, yes,
asking for
yes,
help. But
yes, yes.
that voice say, well, just go ahead. You know what? I know what can make you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Just go have a drink. Go have a drink. Or, go smoke a joint. You'll feel good. You'll just relax. Just chill.
Which
That's
is
what
a
it
lie.
is.
Yes.
Yes, it's a
Which
Yes.
is
big
a lie.
lie.
No,
Yes. Yes.
You
You know,
what
yeah.
Pastor.
one of the best way to get this kind of stuff done is still on this road, driving through the journey of driving through the honest avenue. Is look for somebody that you can talk to and say, look at what I did today. I shouldn't have done this. If you can just share it with somebody, sometimes it helps to empty the beating up of yourself.
And you know what,
It,
Pastor, if I may interrupt, and I apologize, because Sharon did share that with me, and I mean this, and I don't want to start crying like the crying
okay,
lady here.
It's
This is
okay.
my
okay.
best friend, but she shared, and I had to share with her the awareness. You are aware of your behavior. That is so, so very important for me.
In
That is so
fact,
very
that
important.
not to interrupt you, that you are aware of your behavior is a state of good mental health signal. It's a signal that your mental health is still in place.
Exactly.
A person
Exactly.
that has lost their mental health does not even know they did anything wrong. So
No, they didn't
that
care. They don't care.
that
Right.
that that you can still that you can still know you did something wrong because your conscience is alive. The biological
Yes.
cell in
Yes.
your conscience, they are still working. So this is a health, is a sign of healthiness. Repentance is a sign of health, that you can
Yes.
tell yourself,
Man.
I blew it again, but I will not give up on
Yes.
myself. Let me look for somebody I can confess to. Let me look for somebody I can tell
Yes.
myself to. Let me look for somebody I can tell myself, look at me again. You see, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when we are able to humble ourselves to do those things, they bring healing.
Key
The
word.
Bible says that confess your fault to one another that you may be healed. That process
Mm-hmm.
of saying, look, I did this, I shouldn't do that, that is a point of healing on its own. Because you have to be
Yes.
know you are
Yes.
sick to
Yes.
ask for help. There are people that are sick, they don't even know they are sick. There are people that
Well,
that they
that's
are
we
sick,
know
they are
some of it.
smelly, and they are not aware they
We
are
know
smelly.
some.
They are even braggadocious about their smell. You know, because that is how
Yeah,
much lost they are.
that's I
So
get
it's
what
a
Pastor said.
sign of life. It's a sign of at least you still have some degree of check within you that let you know that that is not the right way to talk. That is not the right way
My
to
brother
react.
said,
That is true.
Now
You're right.
you reacted instead of responding. You know what people do
yes,
There you
to
go.
us. What people
Oh,
do to
yes, sir.
us, that is their action. How we respond is our maturity.
yes,
And you see, to me, it's not how many times you fail that is important. It's how many times you got up.
Sometimes you get back up. That is true. That is
So
true. That
so
is true.
so you got up, Sharon. You called the people and say, "Look, my sister, I'm very sorry the way I just lost it that time. I'm sorry the way I spoke to you. I shouldn't have spoken that way." The moment you do that, you are back on the road. It's like when you have a puncture
Yes.
of your tire, and then you call recovery, and they help you to put your tire back, and your journey continues.
triple
So
A.
triple A. So
Yes, that's
Yeah,
so
true.
triple A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
triple A.
Sharon has gotten
Yeah,
some triple A, and she's back on the road.
my triple A right here.
And you know,
She got
Pastor, you
triple
said
A.
something too.
Yes, sir.
You had said, I'm sorry, you had said too, because today, to the best of my ability, I try to respond rather than react.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm just a spiritual being having a human experience and I'm not
Mm,
infallible. So instead of me
mm,
going at somebody in the negative, because the disease thinking loves negativity, every
mm,
time there's
mm.
a challenge, I look at it as an opportunity to exercise and enhance my spiritual principles.
That's
So
good.
I wanted to share too one thing about, I mean, we're grown-ups and people who observe Christmas looking for gifts, having an expectation. And
Mm,
it's like, well, that's not what I wanted, or you didn't get me what I wanted. And sometimes my disease thinking will be like, well, I'll show you, I'll hurt me.
Yes, that's a thing that happens too. That happens
mm,
with us as recovering people.
mm.
When other people hurt us, this voice, this thing will
There's
say to
something.
us, "You hurt me, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to hurt myself worse." And we have to be real mindful and careful of that. Don't drink poison hoping somebody else will die.
Resentment.
It's
Hmm.
a resentment. I'm going to drink poison and I'm going to hope you die. Don't give anybody that kind of power. And often enough, I have given the power to someone else. When I allow you to make me so angry or hurt me so much to the point that I try to harm myself. And I don't necessarily mean harm like I'm gonna hang myself or cut my wrist. But when I use a substance based on emotional pain that someone else caused, that's me harming myself. So even if I go to my family and for Christmas and somebody says or do something, because what happens too, Pastor, sometimes some people won't allow the recovering addict to forget their past. So if you go around your family, if you go around your friends, and they won't let you forget who you are or what you've done, not who you are, because you're not what you've done. But if they won't let you forget your past, when they try to remind you of your past, just tell them God has already told you what your future is. Because people will do that. Oh yeah, I remember when you did
Hmm.
this, and I remember when you did that. Say, I remember too,
Hmm.
but I'm not doing that no more.
Mm.
So you have to sometimes remind people that you know your past. I know better than you. Because I've had people say to me, "Oh yeah, I remember when you was doing this and that." I said, "I remember too. I was
Very
doing
well.
it. It
Yeah.
was me doing it. I remember. I remember just like you remember. I tell me I remember,
Wow,
but I
wow.
remember I know what I'm doing now too.
And then too, if I can add
Yeah.
to that, in the basic text that we read in Narcotics Anonymous,
I'm saying, go ahead.
I'm sorry,
At a 12-step program.
in the 12-step program, I apologize. It tells me that I have a built-in forgetter. In the traditions,
Mm.
it tells me about how I have a built-in forgetter. You know what though? I need to remember when, but don't stay stuck there. Again, it might sound
Mm-hmm.
look too attractive. I got to remember when, and then let it go, and then let God.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. That's
Yeah,
great.
let God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Thank you.
enjoying this program. Our time is up.
Yeah, go. Yes,
Um,
thank you, Pastor.
the way you guys are going, we will be here for 1 hour. We will to look like 2 minutes
But
because
yeah, but we
you are pushing out some delicious principles that is
Goodness.
very, very, very difficult. That is very, very life changing. Thank Jamal for coming on board today. You have had a lot of spices to this broadcast today. I appreciate you
You're
very
welcome, sir.
much. And
You're welcome.
I just, as I'm listening to both of you, what comes to my mind is that a lot of families need a lot of education on how to help recovering addicts. Because if you are not educated, if you are not empowered with understanding and knowledge on how to work with recovering addicts, you can ruin their recovery
Hmm.
with
yes,
criticism. You can tamper with their recovery. So
yes,
I believe that this kind of program is in place. We do this intentionally. I run this program on purpose. I'm doing it because I know not many families have a place where they can educate them on how to help those in recovery. And that is what this Recovery TV is about. We are here to share our experience that will help somebody else not to go on the route we went, so that you can
Yes.
be a better human being. And I want to
Exactly.
thank Sharon for making herself available to be able to share experience with our audience. Always, people have always rest. People are watching far back. People are watching as far as Nigeria. They are making comments. People are watching in different
we can
nations
see it.
of what they are listening to. And the program is a program that I believe will help somebody not to be a victim of this season that we are in. Rather, pick some wisdom from here that will make them go through the festive period without messing up with their recovery. So I want to thank you guys for coming on board to join us on this program. And I want to tell our all our viewers, we'll be back here in some weeks' time, maybe in the new year, to continue this program, because next week we'll be dealing with some other stuff. But Recovery TV is here for you. If you need advice,
Bye
whatever we
bye.
are saying here, yes, whatever we are saying here is just a little advice for you. It's not a commandment, and I believe it to be a lot of blessing for you. So God bless you. Have a blessed, yes. Have a blessed day. Yes. 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 So I want to thank everyone that is joining us on this program. I want to appreciate every one of us that have been listening to this broadcast. I believe the words that are shared here, they are very, very empowering. Empowering to be able to help anyone that is willing to listen. Even though I moderate this program, I learn a lot anytime I come here to be able to help other people to be a better version of themselves. I appreciate all of you that have been on this platform and also sharing your thought with us. I want to encourage you, please share this broadcast on your Facebook page and subscribe to our Recovery TV channel, our YouTube channel. Please help us subscribe to our Recovery TV channel, and also subscribe to our Destiny Mandate TV, so that anytime we come on, we are able to get notifications when we come alive. Please subscribe to our Recovery TV and Destiny Mandate TV. Help us subscribe, and I appreciate all of you that have been subscribing. And tomorrow we'll be back here with something that will be beneficial for the works of your hand. And I believe that will be an additional blessing to you today. Friday is our Christmas carol. Don't miss it. It will be a blessing to you. And Sunday will be our Thanksgiving and anointing service. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you again on this program. God bless you. Bye bye for now. And I look forward to sharing with you tomorrow on the works of your hand and your business as you cross over into a new year. God bless you. Share the program. Share it. Share. Press the share button and share with other people. And get our YouTube video is already on. Subscribe, and God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.